Beloved chosen ones, as we pause in this sacred space, know that what I share is crafted for those who are ready to embrace their true essence. If your heart feels the weight of purpose, then this message is for you. Let us uncover the insights that will propel you into your next phase of growth. Today we'll explore something truly profound, your destiny of abundance. God has destined you for millions, but there is a single, crucial misstep that could jeopardize everything. This isn't just about material wealth, but the spiritual responsibility that comes with it. As a chosen one, your path is uniquely paved with divine purpose. Yet, many fall short of their full potential because of a simple oversight. A misstep so subtle yet so pivotal, it can prevent you from receiving the abundance that's already aligned with your destiny. Throughout this journey, we'll examine why it's vital to stay attuned to the divine guidance in your life, to ensure you don't fall victim to this costly error. The wisdom you'll gain from this message will not only safeguard your destined millions, but also help you step into the full magnitude of your calling. Chosen one, if you have been guided to this channel, it's not by accident. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become a part of the official Chosen Ones family, so you never miss the divine wisdom meant to uplift and guide you on your sacred path. God has destined you for wealth, yes, real, tangible wealth. You are set apart to receive abundance in ways that others may only dream about, but the journey to those millions is fraught with challenges. Many chosen ones find themselves on the verge of success, but a single misstep could cause them to lose it all. This misstep isn't about making the wrong financial decision or missing out on a business opportunity. It's something deeper and more insidious. It's about the way you approach your destiny, the mindset you carry as you move toward the wealth God has set aside for you. The misstep we're addressing here is the failure to align yourself with the mindset of abundance. You see, it's not just enough to believe that God wants you to prosper. You have to act, think, and move in alignment with that belief. Many chosen ones miss their opportunity for millions, not because the opportunity isn't there, but because they allow fear, doubt, or a scarcity mindset to dominate their actions. This subtle shift in mindset can be the difference between stepping into your God-given destiny of wealth or letting it slip away. Let's explore what this looks like in practical terms. Imagine you're on the brink of a business deal, an investment or a career move that could change your life. Everything seems to be aligned, but at the last moment, you start doubting. What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose everything? These questions stem from fear, and fear is the enemy of abundance. When you let fear dictate your choices, you step out of the flow of divine prosperity. You may hesitate, miss a crucial opportunity, or make a decision that's rooted in survival rather than thriving. Fear and doubt are some of the most common missteps chosen ones face on their path to wealth. Even when you've been given clear signs from God that abundance is yours, the weight of your calling can make you second-guess everything. It's natural to feel the pressure. After all, the stakes are high. But this is precisely where the misstep happens. Instead of moving confidently in the direction of your wealth, you pull back, you play small. You start making decisions that are more about maintaining what you have than stepping into what's waiting for you. This misstep can also manifest in a scarcity mindset. A chosen one who has been promised wealth must learn to think and act like someone who already has it. If you approach opportunities, finances, or relationships from a place of lack, always worried there won't be enough, or that you're not worthy of the millions God has destined for you, you close off the flow of abundance. This doesn't mean being reckless or ignoring financial wisdom, but it does mean stepping into a mindset where you expect wealth to come to you and you act accordingly. One of the biggest challenges many chosen ones face is learning to receive. Yes, God wants to bless you, but are you truly open to receiving it? Many people, especially those with a deep sense of purpose, struggle with the idea that they are worthy of wealth. They've been conditioned to believe that money is somehow incompatible with spirituality or that wealth will corrupt them. This is a huge misstep. God's plan for you is not just to have enough to get by, but to thrive, to live in abundance, and to use that wealth for the greater good. The key here is learning to embrace your worthiness. The millions that are destined for you are not a fluke or an accident. They are a part of your divine inheritance. But if you don't believe you are worthy of receiving them, you may subconsciously sabotage your success. You might avoid taking risks, or you may undercharge for your services, settle for less in business, or fail to invest in opportunities that would bring you closer to your financial goals. This misstep also shows up in impatience. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm, and many chosen ones, eager to step into their destiny, fall into the trap of rushing the process. When the millions don't materialize right away, they begin to lose faith or start making hasty decisions. But wealth, true wealth, is a process. It builds over time, requiring both patience and wisdom. Trying to rush God's plan can lead to missteps that could cost you everything, from risky investments to premature decisions that deplete your resources instead of growing them. Ultimately, the misstep that could cost you your millions is not some external factor. It's internal. It's about mindset. God has already ordained your wealth, but the question is, are you in alignment with that promise? Are you acting, thinking, and making choices as someone who is destined for abundance? Or are you allowing fear, doubt, or impatience to lead you astray? As you reflect on this, remember that the millions are not just about luxury or status. They represent the fullness of the opportunities, freedom, and impact that God has prepared for you. But to access them, you must walk with faith, clarity, and confidence. Stay aligned with the promise, and don't let the subtle missteps of fear, doubt, or scarcity keep you from stepping into your destiny. As you continue on your journey as a chosen one, destined for wealth and abundance, it's crucial to reflect on how far you've come and the lessons that have shaped your path. The promise of millions from God is real, but it requires deep spiritual preparation. This preparation isn't just about learning how to manage money. It's about aligning yourself with the divine plan for your life and recognizing that this wealth is part of your greater calling. The key misstep that could cost you everything isn't external, like a bad investment or a missed opportunity. Instead, it's the subtle internal misalignment that comes from fear, doubt, and a scarcity mindset. When you allow these thoughts to take root, they prevent you from fully embracing the abundance that is meant for you. God has destined you for wealth, but stepping into that wealth requires you to trust His process and cultivate a mindset that is open to receiving His blessings. One of the most critical lessons for any chosen one is learning to trust in God's timing. This path to abundance isn't always smooth, and there will be moments when doubt creeps in, when it feels like you're doing everything right but still aren't seeing the results. These moments are tests of faith. The temptation is to let fear take control, to start questioning whether you're really on the right path, or worse, to begin taking shortcuts in hopes of speeding up the process. But these shortcuts often lead to costly missteps, both spiritually and financially. Trust in God is not passive. It's an active practice of faith, requiring you to stay aligned with the belief that His plan for you is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't look like it right now. You may be tempted to rush the process or become impatient when the millions don't manifest as quickly as you hoped. But God is often preparing you in ways you cannot see. Wealth, after all, is not just about having money. It's about becoming the person who can manage, sustain, and use that wealth for a higher purpose. This journey to wealth also calls for deep self-reflection. Why do you seek this abundance? What will you do with it once it arrives? For a chosen one, the millions you're destined for are not just for personal gain. They are tools that God provides so you can fulfill your divine calling. Aligning yourself with this higher purpose ensures that when the wealth comes, it doesn't just serve you, but becomes a source of blessing for others. Another critical aspect of preparation is learning to cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. It's easy to fall into the trap of worrying about losing what you already have, or fearing that more may not come. But this mindset blocks the flow of blessings. Instead, you must learn to expect wealth, to trust that God's provision is endless, and to act from a place of confidence rather than fear. This shift in mindset keeps you in alignment with the abundance that is meant for you. Gratitude plays a significant role in this preparation. When you practice gratitude, even for the small things, you affirm that you're already living in abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus away from lack and towards the blessings you currently have, which in turn opens the door for even greater blessings. This simple act of being thankful realigns your energy with God's divine flow, reminding you that you are always provided for, even before the millions arrive. As you reflect on these spiritual insights, remember that wealth is part of your journey, but it is not the end goal. The millions God has destined for you are meant to support your higher calling, but your spiritual growth and preparation are just as important. Trust the process, remain aligned with God's will, and continue preparing yourself for the abundance that is already on its way. The wealth is coming. Your task is to ensure that when it arrives, you are ready to receive it fully, without fear or doubt holding you back. As you stand on the edge of your breakthrough, you can feel it, the weight of what's about to unfold in your life. God has promised you abundance, the kind of wealth that will transform everything, and you know in your heart that you are destined for millions. But even now, as you sense the nearness of this promise, there's a lingering question. Am I truly ready to receive it? This moment of anticipation is not uncommon. Many chosen ones experience this tension just before stepping into their divine destiny. It's a time filled with excitement, but also uncertainty. You may find yourself reflecting on your journey, wondering if there's something you've missed, something that could trip you up right as you're about to cross the finish line. You've heard the warnings about a single misstep that could cost you everything. Could you be on the verge of making that mistake? These thoughts are not unfounded. The path to wealth is not just about opportunities and successes. It's about how you handle the pressure that comes with being so close to your breakthrough. The closer you get, the more intense the pressure becomes. You might start second-guessing your decisions, questioning whether you're truly prepared for the abundance that's coming. This is where many chosen ones falter, not because they lack faith, but because they allow fear to take root at the most critical moment. As the anticipation builds, you may start noticing small signs in your physical world that point to your success. Maybe opportunities are beginning to open up, or you're experiencing incremental wins that suggest you're on the right path. These signs should be affirming, but they can also create a sense of urgency or impatience. You might start thinking, if I don't act now, I could lose it all. Or, what if this opportunity passes me by? These thoughts, while understandable, can lead you to make hasty decisions, driven by fear rather than faith. The temptation to rush the process or control the outcome is one of the most common missteps chosen ones make. When you're on the verge of receiving the wealth God has promised, the fear of failure or loss can become overwhelming. This fear might push you to take shortcuts, make risky moves, or cling too tightly to the small blessings you've already received, thinking you need to hold on to them for dear life. But acting out of fear rather than trust can cause you to stray from God's plan and miss out on the full magnitude of the abundance waiting for you. It's important to recognize that this tension you're feeling is part of the spiritual process. You're being refined, prepared for the wealth that is about to enter your life. The pressure is not meant to derail you, it's meant to strengthen your faith, to test your ability to remain aligned with God's will, even as the stakes grow higher. The question you're likely grappling with is, am I ready to handle this responsibility? This is not a question of whether you deserve the millions, but whether you are prepared to manage them with the wisdom and grace that God requires. Wealth brings with it a profound responsibility, not just to maintain it, but to use it for the purpose God has set for you. You are not just receiving wealth for your own comfort or success. You are receiving it to fulfill a divine calling. But before you can step fully into that role, you must be sure that you are ready in both mind and spirit. At this moment, the anticipation is growing, and so are the stakes. You feel the tension between the promise of abundance and the fear of losing it all. The key now is to remain steady, to trust in God's timing, and to avoid the subtle traps that fear and doubt can set. This is where many have faltered, but you don't have to. You're on the verge of a revelation that will provide the clarity you need. The answers you seek, the ones that will help you avoid that misstep and ensure you step into the fullness of God's promise, are close. Stay connected, chosen one, because what's coming next will unlock the final understanding you've been waiting for. Up to this point, you've journeyed through moments of uncertainty, questions about your readiness, and the pressure that builds as you approach your breakthrough. You've wrestled with the tension between the promises of abundance and the fear of making the one misstep that could cost you everything. We've reflected on the importance of staying aligned with God's plan, of resisting the temptation to let fear dictate your choices, and of trusting the process, no matter how difficult the waiting may seem. The preparation, the refining process, has been crucial. It's shaped you into the person capable of receiving the wealth destined for you. Yet, even with all of this understanding, there's still a question lingering in your heart. What now? What is the key to ensuring I don't miss my moment? Now, we move into the deeper revelation, the insight that unlocks the true path forward. Here's what hasn't been fully explored yet. The very thing you fear, making that critical misstep, can only happen when you separate yourself from your divine purpose. The misstep is not an external event, a wrong financial move, or even an opportunity that slips away. The real danger lies in losing sight of your purpose, of forgetting that your wealth is not the end, but the means to something greater. The millions God has promised are not meant to elevate you in isolation. They are meant to position you in alignment with the larger mission He has set for your life. The misstep happens when the focus shifts from God's divine calling for your life to the wealth itself. Here is the key revelation. Your wealth is inseparably tied to your purpose. What does this mean? It means that when you remain grounded in the understanding that your wealth is a tool for your higher calling, the fear of missteps begins to fade. Why? Because it's not just about making the right choices for material gain. It's about using the abundance you're given to further the work that God has set before you. As long as you remain connected to that mission, God's provision will continue to flow. The misstep is not about losing money. It's about losing sight of the deeper reason God is giving it to you. Think of it this way. When God calls you to abundance, it's not a singular gift, but an ongoing partnership. The wealth is a resource, yes, but it's also a responsibility. God entrusts you with it because He knows you are equipped to use it in alignment with His plan for you. And if you ever start to lose your way, if you find yourself becoming too focused on the accumulation of wealth for its own sake, that's when you begin to feel disconnected, anxious, and unsure. That's when fear creeps in. It's a signal that you've begun to misstep, not because you made a wrong decision about your money, but because you've lost connection to the divine calling that the money is meant to serve. Let this sink in. You cannot fail when you remain aligned with God's purpose for your life. God's abundance doesn't operate like the world's systems of wealth. It's not about hoarding resources or leveraging power or even outmaneuvering competitors. It's about flowing with the divine energy of creation, of allowing wealth to move through you as a conduit for greater impact. The moment you shift your mindset away from the mission, the wealth becomes stagnant and fear rushes in. But when you stay focused on your purpose, the flow continues and the resources keep arriving, because you're not meant to hold on to them, but to steward them for something greater. This changes everything. The fear of making a wrong move diminishes when you understand that the millions are not the end goal. They are simply the beginning, the fuel for your higher calling. As long as you are serving the purpose God placed on your life, You are in divine alignment, and there is no wrong move that can sever that connection. The misstep happens only when your attention shifts, when you begin to believe that the money is the destination instead of the tool. This is where many chosen ones stumble, not because they lack faith, but because they forget the deeper purpose that their wealth is meant to serve. So, how do you avoid that misstep? You do it by remaining vigilant in your awareness of why you've been chosen in the first place. The promise of wealth is not a reward for your individual gain. It is a resource for you to fulfill the divine mission that God has given you. The millions are coming not just to elevate you, but to empower you to elevate others, to fulfill your role in the greater divine plan. When you operate from this understanding, the fear of losing the wealth or of making a fatal mistake begins to lose its grip. You are not alone in this journey. God has never left you to navigate this path to abundance without guidance. He has been preparing you, not just to receive wealth, but to use it in service of your purpose. The tests you've faced, the obstacles you've overcome, have all been designed to strengthen your resolve, to ensure that when the millions arrive, you will know exactly how to channel them toward the fulfillment of your divine calling. This is why God's timing has been perfect all along. Had the wealth come sooner, before you were fully aligned with your purpose, you might have misused it or become consumed by it, forgetting the reason you were given the resources in the first place. But now, in this moment of clarity, you understand that the money is not what will sustain you. It is your alignment with God's purpose that sustains you, and as long as you remain focused on that, the wealth will flow. This understanding frees you from the fear of losing what you've yet to fully receive. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. You realize now that the only misstep you need to guard against is the temptation to disconnect from your purpose. As long as you stay connected to God's vision for your life, the millions will come, and they will keep coming, because you are not just a receiver of wealth, but a steward of it. So, chosen one, as you stand on the edge of this great abundance, remember this: God has destined you for millions, not for your own glory, but to glorify Him through the work you are called to do. The misstep you feared is nothing more than a shift in focus. Stay grounded in your purpose, and you will never stray. Stay aligned with God's plan, and the abundance will flow without end. This is your moment of clarity. The fears you've carried, the doubts that have plagued you, they all fade away in the light of this revelation. You are not just called to wealth, you are called to purpose. And as long as you remain in that purpose, nothing can take your abundance away. The millions are coming, chosen one. Stay aligned, stay ready. Your divine purpose is unfolding, and nothing can stand in its way. As you stand on the threshold of everything you've been preparing for, you've gained new clarity about your path forward. You now understand that the wealth God has destined for you is not the end goal, but a tool for fulfilling your divine purpose. The insights you've uncovered have shown you that staying aligned with God's plan is the key to avoiding missteps and fully embracing the abundance that awaits you. Now, the question becomes, how do you move forward with this understanding? How do you step into the next phase of your journey with confidence, knowing that every decision, every opportunity, every challenge must now be viewed through the lens of your higher calling? The first shift you must make is in how you view wealth itself. Instead of seeing it as something to be accumulated or held onto for security, you need to embrace it as part of a divine flow. Wealth is meant to move through you. It is a resource God entrusts to you so that it can fuel your purpose and bless others. When you understand this, your relationship with money transforms. You no longer approach it with a mindset of scarcity or fear, but from a place of trust and stewardship. This understanding will influence every choice you make from now on. As you move forward, you will be presented with opportunities that will require discernment. Some of these opportunities may seem tempting on the surface, but won't align with your purpose. This is where your spiritual growth will be tested. God is asking you to trust, not just in His provision, but in His timing. When you are grounded in your purpose, you'll be able to clearly discern which opportunities are in alignment with God's will and which are distractions. To keep yourself aligned, it's essential to cultivate a deep, ongoing connection with God. Prayer and reflection must be at the core of your decision-making process. When you regularly return to a place of seeking divine guidance, you remain open to hearing God's direction. It's in these quiet moments of communion with Him that you will receive clarity on your next steps. Remember that faith is not passive, it requires action, but action that is rooted in trust and obedience to God's voice. Stewardship, another critical aspect of your journey, takes on a new level of importance as you step into the wealth destined for you. God is not just giving you money for your own comfort. He is entrusting you with the responsibility of using it wisely for the fulfillment of your purpose. This means that as you make decisions about how to manage your resources, you need to think about how those choices align with the bigger mission God has called you to. Every financial decision is an opportunity to reflect your commitment to that mission. But stewardship goes beyond managing money. It's about being a vessel for God's blessings, using your influence, your talents, and your resources to impact the world around you. The millions that are coming to you are meant to flow out into the world in a way that serves others and brings glory to God. When you see yourself as a conduit for His work, you begin to understand that your success is not just for you, it's for the larger divine plan. Along this path, there will be moments when the responsibility of this calling may feel heavy. There may be times when the challenges seem overwhelming, and you wonder if you are truly equipped for what lies ahead. In these moments, remind yourself that God has been preparing you all along. Every test, every delay, every obstacle has been shaping you into the person who can handle the wealth and responsibility He is giving you. You are not walking this path alone. God is with you, guiding you, and giving you the strength to carry the weight of your calling. As you continue to move forward, it's important to remember that this journey will not be linear. There will be seasons of great abundance and seasons where you are called to pause and reflect. The millions may not all come at once. They may arrive in stages, each bringing new lessons and opportunities for growth. During times of waiting or challenge, trust that God's timing is perfect. Every season has its purpose, and each step is part of your divine preparation. This journey will also ask you to embrace the unknown. While you now have a deeper understanding of your purpose, there will still be uncertainties ahead. But rather than fearing what you don't know, you are now equipped to embrace it. The misstep you once feared, the mistake that could cost you everything, loses its power over you because you understand that staying aligned with your purpose is the key to avoiding it. You no longer need to fear the unknown because you are walking in faith, grounded in the assurance that God's plan for your life is unfolding perfectly. Finally, moving forward, you are called to stay open to continuous revelation. The insights you've gained in this moment are not the end of your journey, they are the foundation for even greater understanding and spiritual growth. As you continue to walk in faith, God will reveal new layers of your purpose and provide you with the wisdom to navigate the path ahead. Stay in a posture of listening, always ready to adjust and move as God leads you. The path forward is one of alignment, trust, and stewardship. You are not just moving toward wealth, you are moving toward the fulfillment of your divine calling. As you keep your eyes on this calling, the millions will follow, and with them, the ability to make the impact that God has destined for you. This is the journey ahead, one of abundance, purpose, and divine partnership. Trust in it, embrace it, and know that God is with you every step of the way. Chosen one, as we've explored together, the path to the abundance God has destined for you is about far more than material wealth. It's about aligning with your divine purpose and understanding that the millions are meant to empower you to fulfill that higher calling. By staying connected to God's will and focusing on your purpose, you avoid the missteps that could cost you everything. You are being prepared, not just to receive wealth, but to steward it wisely for the impact you're called to make in the world. As you move forward, remember that you are not alone. This is a journey we're all walking together as chosen ones, and there's a powerful community here to support you. If today's message has inspired you, don't let it stop here. Take action by subscribing to this channel so you can continue receiving divine wisdom that helps guide your path. Join the Chosen Ones family, where you'll find others walking their own sacred journeys. Be sure to share this message with others who may also need it. Your sharing could be the spark that helps someone else align with their purpose and step into their destiny. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay connected. There's so much more wisdom to come, and together, we will continue growing and thriving on this sacred journey. If this message touched your heart and you'd like to support the Chosen Ones community, consider donating to our Patreon. Your contribution helps us continue to create spiritually enriching content for you and others on the sacred path. Every donation goes toward expanding our message and building a community where we can all grow in faith, wisdom, and purpose. Thank you for being part of this journey. Your support makes a difference.